Well, Razorback fans, we are here to talk about this weekend in Omaha. Will it be a good weekend for the Arkansas Razorback baseball team? Oh, my goodness, here's hoping. So let's talk about it on today's Locked On Razorbacks podcast. And welcome into Locked On Razorbacks podcast. I am your host, John Nabors. I am also the host of Inside Arkansas Live, which you can catch every weekday starting at noon on Inside Arkansas and InsideArkansas.com. As you can tell by watching this video and probably even the way it sounds, I am in a different location. I am here in Omaha for the College World Series, here live at DJ's Dugout. And what a great time it's going to be all about. We'll have some basketball news and something that happened with the schedule. We'll dive into that as well as some parting thoughts from Omaha before we get into the official first game for Arkansas taking on LSU. But, I mean, it's very simple. You know, we've talked about this game leading up to this point in time. We've talked about the possibilities that could end up happening, the things that could end up being great, and the things that could end up being problematic. We've talked about, we've gone through it. Everything. Pitching, hitting, defense, all of this. And now it's over with. Now it's over with when it comes to trying to figure out what this team is going to do. And I got to tell you, I have talked to many Razorback fans, and so many of you are very excited but anxious. So many of you are so scared but hopeful. You're a lot of different emotions right now for this upcoming game, for this upcoming College World Series. And you know what? It's okay. No matter what you are, it's okay. And the reason being is because this is territory that you know what's at stake. You know what's on the line. You beat the allegations already from the regular season that you were just a team that was going to fold in the regionals like you had in the previous two seasons. You beat that allegation. You beat the allegation that you would go up against a team like Tennessee in the Super Regionals, the defending champs, Tony Vitello, playing them at home. You beat that allegation. You took care of business. You made it happen. And that's awesome. But now is the time to where it's no longer about beating allegations. It's about doing what you're supposed to do. You are the odds-on favorite to win the College World Series. Right now, where it stands, you are the odds-on favorite. You're not overwhelmingly the favorite, but still the favorite nonetheless. And the only other team that's really close when it comes to being a favorite in this College World Series is the team you are actually going to be facing first with the LSU Tigers. A team that you have faced already this season down in Baton Rouge, where you lost 2 out of 3. You lost game 1, you lost game 2, but you won game 3. Now, we could sit here and discuss about the ins and outs and, okay, well, what about this pitching matchup against this particular guy, and how's Arkansas going to hit? How are they going to look? All of those things. But the deal is that baseball, probably as much as any sport, is so unpredictable when it comes to anybody here on this team specifically. And I'll give you an example of this. Folks, there have been times this season where a guy like Mahiva Aloy has been incredible and has willed you to victory and have been the reason why you won the game. There have been times where his brother Kahio Aloy has done that. There's been times where Charles Davalon has done that for you, or Cam Kojal, maybe even a Logan Maxwell, maybe even a Brent Iredale, maybe even a Justin Thomas. Ryder Helfrich even. There have been times where each one of these players have stepped up and have looked good, gotten the job done some incredible things in any particular game. So if you were going to look at, okay, well, who has to come and play next tomorrow? Who's got to bring it all to them? Well, it's a very simple thing. Just whoever does. Like, you don't have to have one particular player bring it. Yeah, like, listen, we'd all like to have every single player do what they're supposed to do, and 1 through 9 in the lineup, go out there and get a hit and at least get on base every single time. Like, yes, that's the obvious answer, but it's not a realistic expectation. You don't have to have everybody play their A game. You have to have just enough play their A game. And that's what makes this team so fun and so dangerous and so exciting to watch. Because it's not just banking on one particular player. It's banking on multiple players who have proven time and time again that they are capable of playing at this very high level. And that's not even mentioning the pitching. The pitching, to which here in the postseason has been about as good as you could ask. This pitching staff is as well rested as a pitching staff can be. Health-wise, the team itself, about as healthy as you can be. In fact, the only player that you could really make an argument for being a little suspect when it comes to their health is Aiden Jimenez, who, from all intents and purposes, looks like he's going to be good to go. So the health is there. The pitching is there. The freshness is there. The depth is there. The opportunity is there. The experience is there. Everything is there for the Razorback baseball team right now. So I laid it all out for you. Why are you still nervous? Why are you so anxious? Why do you feel a certain way about it? I get it. I truly do. Because you're a Razorback fan. You have no idea what to expect. Because there's times that you've come into this College World Series where you felt like you were the best team or one of the best teams, that you could really win it this year, and you didn't. And there were times where you were limping into the College World Series. You felt like you fell backwards into it. You had no business being here, or at least you got really lucky with some matchups and some games. And guess what happened? You went far. You nearly won. And in fact, the most recent time you have been to the College World Series is in 2022. A team that didn't even get a 16 seed, a top 16 seed. A team that had to go through Stillwater, go through Chapel Hill. A team that you would felt like, well, maybe this is a team that's limping into this particular College World Series. And they ended up making a run and finishing third overall. That's not the goal, but it was a lot better than what it looked. This is one of the first times, folks, where you truly are the best team of the final 8 left in the postseason in college baseball. You are the best team. You are the odds-on favorite, not because it's by default. It's because you are truly the best. You have not lost a single game in postseason play. And in all honesty, none of them have really felt in doubt. The closest one that you may have felt in doubt might have been the first one against North Dakota State. Because even the game against Tennessee, where it was really close, you were overwhelmingly the better team. You had 10 hits, for crying out loud. But you just couldn't score it. Yeah, it's problematic. It's baseball. It's scary. You don't want any of that. Could be a possibility. But the point is, you have to be the one that showcases that you're truly the best team for a reason. Not because it was given to you, not because people just believe it. It's because you've earned it. You've earned the right to play here in Omaha. You've earned the right to be given this opportunity to win your very first College World Series. You've been given the chance to get here, and you seized it, and you took it, and here you are right now, staring at the face of a possible College World Series title. You've earned this. But as great as it is to get to the College World Series, it's not the end game. It's not the thing that you just got to chalk up and say, well, man, we just made it here. Let's anything out here is icing on the cake. Nope. That's not the case. Because I tell you right now, if this team goes 0-2 in the College World Series, you, I, and all Razorback fans are going to be pretty pissed. Disappointed. Saying it was a massive, massive, epic disappointment in the postseason. Too harsh? Let them go 0-2 and see how you feel. Even going 1-2, folks, would be considered a disappointment this postseason. What's satisfactory? What is going to make it to where, hey, it is what it is? What's going to make you feel that way? At this point in time, folks, you got to get to the finals at least. You got to get to the finals. You got to be one of the final 2 teams. And then as soon as I say that, knowing the teams you'd be facing, knowing what you'd be going up against, how do you not suddenly start to feel like, well, if we're in the finals, we better win this thing? I mean, how do you truly look at that and just don't go, yeah, we got to win this, no matter who it is? Oregon State, of course, got to win it. Coastal Carolina, got to win it. Arizona, got to win it. Louisville, got to win it. Doesn't matter. What is going to satisfy you? Some of you are happy to be here. I'm not. Job's not finished. You got work to do. You've earned it to be here. Go earn your spot in the College World Series final and earn your spot in history by winning your first ever national championship. Do it for Dave Van Horn. If not for me, if not for the Razorback faithful, do it for Dave Van Horn. We're going to get into some other things, especially some Razorback basketball. How about that? Some interesting things going on there, and we'll do that here in a second, so stay with us here on the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. All right, Razorback fans, you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Well, between dining out and online shopping and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, but that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over all of your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building your wealth. Instead of juggling all these multiple apps that you have going on here, you can just use Monarch Money to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan your long-term goals. Managing money for your partner and with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track all the shared and personal accounts, set your goals, and stay on the same page without all the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off of your very first year. All right, so moving on into the next segment of the Locked On Razorbacks podcast, little basketball news. And, the schedule's starting to kind of trickle out here a little bit, and you're starting to get an idea of what certain aspects are going to look like, SEC even, but non-conference as well. And the latest thing, of course, is the ACC-SEC challenge. Now, some people feel a certain way about challenges when it comes to conferences. I actually enjoy them. I think that you don't need to run its course too long. I felt like the SEC Big 12 challenge went too long because it got to the point where I felt like Arkansas was facing like one of three teams. Probably wasn't the case, but it felt like that. It felt like you're facing Oklahoma State or Texas Tech or TCU. That's all it felt like. And it was just kind of getting a bummer. They weren't mixing it up a little bit. It seemed like every year Kentucky and Kansas played, and then they throw in some other teams like a Texas and Florida or something like that. But it just needed to go by the wayside. But now the SEC has become a premier basketball conference. The ACC was always one of those conferences that felt the same way. Maybe not so much anymore. I feel like the SEC has surpassed the ACC overall, but still has some really interesting teams to match up against. Arkansas went on the road to play Miami in Miami last season. Solid game. I don't think it was one that anyone circled on their SEC-ACC challenge one of being like the best game ever, but it was solid nonetheless. I was going to be really fascinated because now Arkansas gets a home game. And who's their home game against? The Louisville Cardinals. Now, Louisville and Arkansas have some history, if you can believe it. The series is actually tied 4-4. One of the, and if not the arguably greatest play and greatest shot that was ever made in the NCAA tournament history became between Arkansas and Louisville back in 1981, U.S. Reed. We all know that. And in fact, the only previous meeting that happened in Bud Walton Arena was in 1996 when number 19 Louisville defeated Arkansas, who's number 18, in overtime 91-88. But then Arkansas the next year, ranked 15th, won at Louisville 100-83 on December 1997. 4 of the 6 neutral court matchups have come in the NCAA tournament, as we just mentioned. And that's really where it was at. It's like it's been a while. But these two teams, last time they did face off, it's so funny because sometimes I forget about this, was when Arkansas faced Louisville and beat them 80-54 in the Maui Invitational, back when Kenny Payne, ironically enough, was the head coach. And who else was on that team? L. Ellis, a former Razorback. There's just a lot of little connections there. But man, oh man, how far both of those programs have come in just a matter of a couple of years. Louisville, is a very good basketball program. I think the element of Cal going up against Louisville is very fascinating. And for sure, Kenny Payne, because I can tell you this right now, whatever the odds ends up being for Arkansas and Louisville, if Arkansas's favored, bet the house on it because you know Cal is going to win this game. If not for himself, he's going to do it for Kenny Payne. Because I'm not saying Louisville kind of screwed him over because Kenny Payne did not do so well at Louisville, but see what I'm saying? Like he's going to be motivated for Coach Payne to get it done, and I think Arkansas is going to take care of business in that way. So here's some other matchups. That game's going to be on December 3rd on a Wednesday, by the way. But some of the other matchups you're going to see when it comes to the SEC and the ACC, you got Florida at Duke, which is great game, and makes sense. You got the defending champs Florida against Duke, who a lot of people felt like was going to go to the championship game, but did not. Lost in the Final Four. Georgia and Florida State could not care less. North Carolina at Kentucky. Of course, they get some sort of game like that. Kentucky should win that because North Carolina's trash. Miami goes to Ole Miss. Missouri at Notre Dame. That could not. I mean, that's rough. Oklahoma and Wake Forest. Spare me that. Virginia Tech at South Carolina. Do not care. Tennessee at Syracuse. Whatever. But Syracuse is not what they once were. Texas A&M at Pittsburgh. Disgusting. Bet you the Aggies aren't really traveling for that one. Clemson, who got upset in the NCAA tournament first round last year, they're going to Alabama. NC State at Auburn. I was kind of bummed. I was hoping that Will Wade was going to come to Arkansas, but instead Will Wade is heading over there to the Auburn Tigers. So that should be really fascinating. That will be a really sneaky good matchup because Will Wade, say what you want about the man, Duke can coach. But then you have Mississippi State at Georgia Tech. Fine. LSU at Boston College. Gross. Can you imagine all the people there from LSU? Is anybody at LSU and in the LSU fan base going to be traveling to Boston for the LSU-Boston College basketball game on December 3rd? I couldn't imagine anybody. Virginia at Texas is a snooze fest, and SMU at Vanderbilt. So either way, there's some really intriguing matchups there. Some of them, not so much. But that's just the way it goes in this conference and the way things have gone now for a while. So, but I'm excited about basketball getting going. I always think the scheduling is fascinating to see how it all plays out for Arkansas. They got a good one so far, some really good matchups. I think about what you have with, of course, at least the ones we know for sure, but like Arkansas going up to Houston December 20th, or going and playing Houston December 20th at the Barclays Center. You got that one. You got Arkansas and Duke up there in Chicago happening on Thanksgiving. You're going to have, some other intriguing matchups in the non-conference. And then the SEC, let's hope that the SEC actually, does right by you and gives you some really good games, especially at home. So, not giving you Arkansas and Kentucky twice, but they may give you some other games there too. So, here's just kind of hoping it goes really well. But either way, I am pumped for the basketball schedule to be finally released. And isn't it just a weird time, folks, that now we're in a spot where the SEC is a premier basketball conference. Premier basketball conference. That's craziness. Doesn't even make any sense. But you know what? It's amazing how far it's come. And Arkansas is going to be one of the best teams in the SEC next year. I firmly believe that. They're going to showcase themselves. They're going to make sure that they do a lot better in the conference than what they did a year ago. And I'm not going to say Arkansas is going to win it, but they're going to be a team that a lot of people start to believe in and start picking at SEC basketball media days. I guess it's in October is when they start putting those things together. I think Arkansas will be a dark horse. It's going to be Arkansas. People are going to believe in teams like Florida once again because, they got some good players. Will probably be Alabama and Auburn are going to get a lot of love. Auburn especially. Maybe some people think Kentucky because, it's Kentucky. But still, it's going to be great. So can't wait to see how all that plays out. We'll get to the final segment, some parting thoughts for the College World Series here in Omaha on the other side of the break. So stay with us here on the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. All right, so final segment here on the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Well, folks, it's a very interesting time right now because, as we just talked about in the very beginning part of this podcast, we were discussing all the cool stuff that they have going on here in the College World Series and some of the atmosphere. I've already run into some Razorback fans since I've been up here and seen how excited they are. There's going to be a lot of former players up here. There's probably going to be some celebrities. I know John Daly's coming up here to Omaha and everything, but I'm just going to say this for you Razorback fans, okay? Like, I get it. You're anxious and you're nervous and you want to win and you want to win it all and all of that. But here's my thing. Just enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the game. Enjoy how it's going to go tomorrow because you're here, and this is what you want to be. You want to go up. Like people who are nervous about having to play LSU or upset that you have to play LSU while other people play other things. Don't worry about it. If you want to be the best, you're going to have to go through them anyways. So why not get in the beginning? And I've said this before. If you're going to lose to LSU, I'd rather lose to them in the first round and early in the going than lose to them in the finals. Now, I'm not saying you will lose it, but don't run from something like this. Just go with it. Go for it. Because think how much sweeter that's going to be after tomorrow night you get that first victory of the College World Series over the LSU Tigers. Suddenly, the only other team that's really highly favored to win this whole thing, you, not anyone else, you put them behind the 8 ball immediately. Boom. Just like that. So don't look at it as some sort of burden or some sort of thing that you immediately think the worst is going to happen. Go in there confident, because I'm telling you right now, I know our guy Andrew Ellis went down there for practices and got to check out the team and see what they got going on. And he said they passed the vibe check. Their vibes are high. They're feeling good. They're here to have fun. They're here to enjoy the moment and enjoy this type of opportunity. But they're also here to win the whole thing. That's what they're here for. And so the job's not done. They got to get it going. But I'm just trying to plead with you, Razorback fans. Take it easy. Enjoy it. Watch how it goes. And then when we get back here on Monday, let's recap. And let's hope that Arkansas is up 1-0. Let's hope that Arkansas is going to be getting ready to face, whether it's Murray State or UCLA, whoever it ends up being, won't matter. Let's just come together and let's hope for it. Enjoy the game. It's going to be beautiful here in Omaha. There's going to be a ton of Razorback fans here. It's going to be a ton of LSU fans here, too. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get wild. And I cannot wait to see it. But appreciate each and every one of you listening in and watching into the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Google Play. You can also get after me on Twitter at John Nabors Show for any questions, comments, concerns you may have. Keep it going from there. Same podcast time, same podcast channel. Next Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you then.